Hello there and welcome to question 6 from revision sheet 1. So, Will inherits 1,900 from a distant relative. He decides to invest all his money in either stocks and shares, premium bonds, or gambling on football scores. Will decides to invest 6 times as much money in football scores than premium bonds. Will did not do so well in the football gambling, losing half of his money. Of the investments in stocks and shares and premium bonds, Will gain a return of 7% on the stocks and shares, gains 4% return on the premium bonds. However, in all three investments, Will overall loses £557. Use inverse matrices to calculate the original amount of the investments Will makes in each of the saving schemes. So, what we need to do here is we've got three variables, S, P, and G. So if I want to invert a matrix with three variables, I need three equations to make a 3 by 3 matrix. So, what I'm going to need to do from this piece of information is pick out three separate, independent equations. So, let's look at the first bit of information. £1,900, and he's invested this in either S, P, or G. So the first one's nice and easy. S plus P plus G equals £1,900. Carrying on, Will decides to invest 6 times as much money in football scores than in premium bonds. So that means that if I times the amount I've invested in premium bonds by 6, I get the amount I've gambled. 6p equals G. However, for the matrix, I'm going to want to rearrange this to make 6p minus G will equal 0. The next bit comes from the percentage changes. 7% return on the stocks and shares. Now, if I remember back to my percentage change multipliers, 7% increase is going to be 1.07s. A 4% increase is going to be 1.04p. And if I've lost half my money from gambling, looking on the positive side of things, I've still got half of my money. So I'm going to add 0.5g. This is going to equal, well, I've lost £557 from my original 1,900, so I've still got £1,343. Okay, so the next step is going to be making these matrices. So, my three variables were S, P, and G, and my three answers were 1,900, 0 from the second equation, and 1,343. Now the main matrix at the front here is going to be made from the coefficients on the three equations. So on the first one I've got 1s, 1p, and 1g. So my first row is going to be 1, 1, 1. My second row has 6 p's, a negative g, and no s's. So my first cell corresponds to the S. So no S's, 6 P's, and for the G is -1. And then for the third row, it's these percentage changes. 1.07, 1.04, and 0.5. So from here, I'm going to need to invert this matrix and pre-multiply it at the front of this result matrix. So, S, P, and G is going to equal the inverse of 11106 minus 1, 1.07, 1.04, and 0.5 times by the results matrix, 1,900, 0, and 1,343. So, get the calculator out now. First of all, select the menu option and then select option 4 for matrices. You then have to select the dimension of your matrix and it will be a 3 by 3. So click 3, enter, 3, enter. And then enter your values into your matrix. 111, 06 minus 1, 1.07, 1.04, and 0.5. Then we need to write down the next matrix, matrix B, effectively. So press AC to clear that, and then select Option to edit another matrix. So we need to edit the matrix, so select Option 2, and then edit matrix B. Now you already made matrix A, so you need to make matrix B. So enter a 3 by 1 matrix for matrix B and enter the results: 1900, 0, 1343. Press AC to clear, and now you want to do the calculation part. You'll have to use the options part here and selecting options 3 and 4 for your matrix A and matrix B. So select option and then matrix A, and then you'll want to invert that. So you press the inverse button and then times by option and then option 4 for matrix B. And this will be the key part for your display. Press enter on the display and you get 500, 200 and 1200. So let's just write that down. 500, 200 and 1200. Just quickly check that this makes sense according to our original equations. They should all add up to 1900. Yep. 6 times as much in the gambling as the premium bonds. 200, 1200. Yep, great. So that makes sense. So I won't check this last one. So use inverse matrices to calculate the original amounts invested in these savings schemes. So stocks and shares. The amounts there invested was £500. For the premium bonds, the amount here invested was £200. And for the gambling, the amount here invested, or wasted really, is £1,200. 6 marks.